The presenting sponsor of Moontower Soccer is FVF Law.
To find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm, you can visit fvf.law.
I used to always make you smile, but now I struggle with the dial. Don't as I try to call your number. You remind me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of SWOONTOWER Soccer, a show that's all about the boys. My name's Landon Cottom. I'm joined again by Steph Crinola and Mike Ellison. Guys, thanks for joining me again.
Thank you for letting us back here.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to be barred from the Moontower recording space, but we're back, y'all.
So if you didn't catch the last episode of SWOONTOWER Soccer, we know that you've come to expect a certain type of analysis and professionalism from this podcast feed. This show is going to be not that. We're going to do silly things on here. If it's not your thing, we totally get it. Listen next Tuesday or last Tuesday for the Moontower episode. But if you're here for this kind of stuff, like, we wanted to put this in a separate episode just for you people. And so today we are going to do a smile tournament. We're going to pit every smile in the Austin FC team against other smiles, and until we find a winner.
Yeah, every smile above 18 years old.
Exactly.
Every adult, every legal adult smile
In the Austin
team.
FC universe.
Yeah.
But before we get to our smile tournament, I think we should go through some of the new guys.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them. We got a whole bunch of new boys.
I was saying that at the end of last season, we really started to ramp up our handsome boys scale score, because when Driussi came in, I know we talked about him at length last time, but I will talk about him at length all the time. And as soon as he came, it was like a little domino effect that we started to just start scoring some handsomer boys. And I don't know anything about the way that they can play, but the new recruits are looking good with Ruben Gabrielson at the top of the top.
Who stands out to you, Mike, in this new batch?
Honestly, I had a hard time ranking the new boys because they all have such clear visual personalities. You know what I mean? Felipe Martins is such a hard, tough guy looking dude.
So angry.
Yeah, so a Roy Kent looking MFer, you know? And so I think that's super fun. But I think it might be Maxi for me.
Really?
All
Yeah,
right.
I like that. He's so here's what I like about Maxi, right? I feel like Maxi isn't going to judge me for not picking up my clothes. You know what I mean? If I come home from work and I've got a pile of clothes around, I feel like Maxi's going to be eating Doritos and playing video games when I get home. He's just got that vibe, you know?
Is this from the man bun solely, or
And the scruff.
The scruff.
I think the scruff and the man bun together is very much a shabby chic casual kind of dude, you know? But then I see him driving around in exotics and hanging out with Rodney Redis with his little Louis Vuitton bag, and I'm maybe he's doing all this on purpose, you know? Maybe it takes him
I think
hours.
he can be both of those things. He can drive a really nice sports car, but also have a tattoo on his neck and drink energy drinks while playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. He seems like a kind of the roommate that you're oh my God, dude, just wash out the pot after you make mac and cheese. You know what I mean?
I think, yeah, you're talking about Felipe on his on-field persona and his off-field persona seem to be very different things.
Yes.
Because he seems like a really fun guy, and teammates seem to really love him. And even teammates who would have considered him a rival, looking at his time in New York and DC, he won the DC fans over after being on the rival team for several years. And so, and there's also somebody sent me, I think his name was Jay, sent me some photos that I sent to you, Mike and Steph.
Oh my God.
He went over and greeted his children after the game, the Atlas game at Q2. And they had little cool Verde shirts on that said Daddy on the back. So I think he's going to become a fan fave. I got to sit in on the press conference after the preseason friendly against Chicago Fire with Ruben Gabrielson. I think he's going to be a lot of fun. And so like personality wise, I think we've definitely upped the game as well. We had to say goodbye to a few good personalities in the offseason, but I think we've brought in some really good ones too.
There's a Twitter video. So obviously the first thing I did was go to their Twitter as soon as they each got signed. I think we all did. And there was a video of Ruben Gabrielson like putting on a towel cape and holding out his passport when he got called up for something. And it just was so silly and so goofy. And he's so handsome that like like he has this physical presence that says, I am not goofy and silly. I am very strong and very handsome and very good at sports. But then he does this like silly little video and I'm like, oh, and he's funny. Like that level of like just silly, charming, lighthearted, I think is a really great I'm super excited to see like how he engages with fans, how he engages with the rest of the team through this season. Very excited about him.
I'll probably mention this on Moontower next week as well, but during the Chicago Fire friendly, he's also like, just like his on-field presence. He's like played for 15 minutes, his first MLS game time at all. And there was like a corner kick and they were marking up and he wasn't even marking Kasper Shabilko, who's like a very big man. And he just like took 2 steps out of his way just to push Shabilko in the back and then step back over to his man and marked up.
That's so good. That's so good.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited.
Okay, so let's move on to kind of a social media roundup here and go over some of our favorite things that have happened since the last time. Who wants to start us off there?
I just want to give Diego Fagundes congratulations for getting verified on Twitter. Just a big SWOONTOWER congrats, because I know he was excited about it. And I think we mentioned this last time that he was one of the only players who wasn't verified on Twitter at that point.
Yeah, do you think he listened and was like, I got to fix that? You know what? They're right. Like, come on now. I've been a pro a long time. Like, I deserve that check mark.
Oh, God, I hope players don't listen to this. Yeah.
I hope they do. So they know how handsome they are.
You think he hit up his dad? And it was like, come on, Dad, you got to get me verified on Twitter. Let's go. Like, what good is having an agent?
Yeah. I hope to God none of them do, but I have a sneaking suspicion that some of them will.
Once they hear about the smile bracket, how could they not?
I know.
But yeah, I was just really happy for Diego to get that little blue check mark. That
it was
seemed
awesome.
like a good accomplishment.
Congratulations, Diego. Going back to Felipe for a bit, there was, I think, talking about his personality and winning fans over. A lot of people were posting screenshots and stuff of him responding to DMs on Instagram, like whenever they announced the signing. And I who knows how many of those he went through and did, but he was taking the time to answer a lot of them, which was really cool.
It's so cool, yeah.
I don't answer Instagram DMs, and I have one every week.
Yeah, same for me. I'm so bad at answering them, and he went through and answered hundreds of them or dozens of them that day.
Yeah, he's responding to everybody. It took me like 2 weeks for Landon to accept my Facebook friend request. Like, I was like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't have.
No, but I think it's like everything from his social media presence has been all in, all in Austin FC, and just engaging with the fans that way is such a nice, not proof, because like nobody needs to prove that they're all in on the club, but it just is it's really indicative of his like excitement and his engagement, and that he cares enough to spend probably hours on Instagram responding to messages.
Well,
And we know how fickle fan bases can be, and
Yes.
stuff like that is going to get you a lot of capital with the fans.
For
true.
sure. Well, and like during the Atlas friendly, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but at one point he turned back to the supporters section to be like, "Come on, get loud!" Like as they were already screaming. Like, and so like it just he clearly is so stoked to be here,
Well,
and like
that kind of leads into like my other social media highlight, which Danny Pereira is always going to be my social media highlight, like forever and always. But he posted his jersey pics, and he's so angry looking. And clearly from all of this engagement, we know that he's not like this angry, cold, stone person. But he has that face. He has an angry face, a very handsome, very angry face. And Danny Pereira just commented, "Smile, bro."
To himself?
no,
to Felipe.
to Felipe.
Oh.
So yeah, Felipe poses like super tough in his new mint shirt, and like Danny Pereira just hits him up, "Hey bro, smile." Like
So good.
which like I feel like that's what we need is more people telling their teammates to smile on the internet,
So I thought you were talking about Danny's jersey pick, which he's also kind of like mean mugging, and like I think he
Yeah.
thought the picture was going to be cropped, and he's like holding his jersey up so you can see his abs through his shirt.
I don't think he thought. Oh, you mean because so it would be called.
I thought his hands weren't going to be. He thought his hands weren't going to be in the picture. But little Sebastian Berhalter,
I
R.I.P.
saw
little
that.
Sebastian, he commented on it, "Abs through the shirt, wow," and then like a little like sweating from the brow emoji.
Yeah.
And Danny commented, "Calm down now."
Oh, it's so good.
Honestly, like whoever's in charge of like the social media side of like player management, never let Danny get a handler on the internet. Like let him roam free forever, please.
All
I
right,
just
y'all.
pulled that pic up because it's so good, and Felipe commented on his as well about his Photoshop.
Yeah, did you forget to fix your photo? Fix the picture in Photoshop? And then Danny responds, "Calm down, Grandpa."
It's just like little relationships like that are starting so fast with these new signings. It gives me so much joy and so much hope for this season that it's just going to be a banger.
Yeah, like
It's beautiful.
they really seem like they've like gelled a lot more as a team. And I know all of the like the media blitz has like said that, right? The Stuver interview that y'all did, like Brad called that out too, but like it's so clear just in the way that they interact with each other and in the even in the warm-ups during the Atlas friendly, like the way that they were giving each other crap like on the sideline, it was so obvious that like this is a much closer team than last year's team. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we should probably save a fair amount of time for our tournament.
The
here.
main event.
So let's set up with kind of the structure here and the process that led us to it. So originally, we were going to do a seeded bracket and like rank everybody, seed everybody and then put them in a bracket as to make the bracket as fair as possible. But as we started, we realized, wow, this feels really mean.
Yeah, it's like it's the opposite of like let's build up the boys, by like, hey, okay, so like really who's the lowest seed on the team for a smile bracket?
Yeah, it
felt
just
bad.
felt bad.
So we decided to, instead of doing that, we did a semi-randomized bracket, but then handpicked I guess 4 top seeds to put into a bye round. And so our smiles who will get a bye in the first round are Johan Romagna, Sebastian Driussi, Johan Valencia, and potentially controversial number 4, Brad Stuver. Is that true?
Controversial to
Is that
whom?
controversial?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
So I think it's looking at the host individual rankings, there is one member of this 3-person team that does not have Brad Stuver in their top 4.
It's true. I have someone different, but I would say that I wouldn't say it would be controversial.
Okay.
Because he's got a great smile. And
yeah, I'm not saying
clearly-
it's controversial that he would be high, just maybe in that 4th spot there.
Got it. I think that for controversial for me is that my one of my top choices was in like your low 10s.
Oh my
So-
God, the discrepancies in these picks was wild, because we did actually go through and do the seeding before we decided to randomize it. So we have that list, and there was like, we have it in columns, and so we could see what each of us put, and it'd be like, some of them were like 26, number 1, 26 or something like that.
Yeah, I think the most egregious for that one might be you, Landon, with one of your top 6 picks.
Oh, which one is that?
Julio Cascante was number 6 for you.
Yeah, no, I think if so, we're gonna involve some kind of fan vote component. I think the two of you are gonna see that you are in the wrong on this one.
I think the real lesson that this smile bracket has taught me, at least, is that we need more pictures of our boys smiling, because I'm scouring the internet like a creep, zooming in on on-field pictures where they might be celebrating something, and I'm like, does that count as a smile? Is that a smile? Do we have a little smile there?
It seems like some of them have curated their online image to not include smiles.
Yeah.
And I think that went into a lot of my ranking as well. The lower ones weren't necessarily that they have bad smiles. It's just that their smiles were harder to find proof of. And the harder I had to work for it,
the more they suffer.
Yeah.
I will also say that building a bracket with 25 players is very difficult. And so I'm glad that Landon relented and allowed us to include 3 more figures from the Austin FC community, notably Coach Joshua Wolf, and then the 2 biggest celebrities that cover Austin FC news, Jeremiah Bentley and Landon Cottam himself. So Landon, thank you so much for letting us include you in the bracket.
For letting you add me as a sacrificial lamb to Cecilio Dominguez.
Hey,
It was random.
Random, man. You could have been up against anybody. You could have been up against Big Celery. Who knows?
Who?
Guys, Big Celery's gone.
Who is Big? What?
Big Celery is Aaron Schoenfeld.
Oh, no.
For reasons we're not going to get into. But you know what I realized, guys, is we did not put Felipe in this bracket.
What? Why?
Because that man has never smiled in his life. That's why. He's not eligible.
Oh,
No,
no. You
so
know why it is?
I
It's
think-
because he was signed the day after we built the rankings. And
So I think we should either put him in for me or Jeremiah. Which one do you think it should be?
put him in for
Ooh.
Josh Wolf.
Oh. No, we gotta. Do we have to do a quick smile bracket between Landon and Jeremiah? Landon, who would you rather have competing, representing Moontower?
Well, I think let's take Jeremiah out since he's not here to defend himself, and I'll leave myself in as the sacrifice
Against Cecilio.
to the show. And so, okay, where's Jeremiah at? Instead of oh man, this is a tough one now. So instead of Jeremiah going against Hector Jimenez, I can't change the name. So, shit, I keep advancing Jeremiah through the bracket on accident.
Yeah, on accident, sure. Remember, fans, when you are voting, just keep cheering on Jeremiah.
Great.
Okay, so now we have Felipe in our bracket. Is there anything else we need to go over rules or setup wise here before we get started?
No, I think that just noting that Owen Wolf is not on the bracket because he's
Yes.
Because he's a
child.
minor. That's right. But
I know you mentioned that at the top, Mike, but as we're going through names, I just wanted to throw it in there one more time.
yeah, for sure. The other thing, should we like let them know that we will be hosting the fan vote for the smile bracket to see kind of how that plays out in the minds of everyone else that isn't us?
Yeah, so I think the plan is to release this episode on a Friday, and then the following week we're going to run the same bracket, but as Twitter polls, and so that the fans can have a vote and tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, so as you're listening, as we go through the brackets, start getting your picks in.
Yeah, as you say, what? How could that possibly be true?
You're gonna
remember that. Like, you get your chance.
You're gonna need some sleuthing time on the internet too. For
yeah, honestly, like I don't because my employer like is Austin based. I don't want to say how much time I spent looking at Dreamy Boy smiles on the internet the past week in preparation for this, but yeah,
my wife caught me the other day on my computer on Instagram, just like zooming in on pictures of Alex Ring's face. And she's like, "What are you doing?"
It's for science.
Yeah, no, this is professional
Professional research.
Okay, let's get started with the bracket. So we're just gonna go top down here. The first matchup is to see who faces off against our consensus number 1 seed, Johan Romagna. I guess not consensus, but he was our number 1
Collective number 1 seed.
Yeah.
He wasn't consensus number 1.
So this is Nick Lima up against Alex Ring. I guess we've got 3, so tiebreakers should be pretty easy here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to say Alex Ring on this one. Is anybody going to pick Nick Lima?
No.
No, I also had Alex Ring above Nick Lima. Although I do have to say that Nick Lima has got like a smirk thing going on. Like it's hard to find a full smile, but I like it. Like he
smiles with his whole face too, which is nice to see.
And it's like a little bit of a like mischief smile. So like I think there's probably half the team that Nick Lima would have won against for me in this bracket.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
yeah,
up against Cappy, I got to go with Alex Ring.
All right, well, we're going to advance Alex Ring here. He will face off Johan Romagna in the second round. We'll get back to that, though. Next matchup is Cecilia Dominguez versus Landon Cottom. I'm going to pick Cecilio. I don't know what y'all want to do, but
Landon, let's see it. Let's see. Steph, who's your pick?
I don't know. I mean, the whole winter off season, I've really warmed up so much to Cecilio. Not that I didn't like him season 1, but like
season 1 Cecilia.
Season
like
1 Cecilia. Right. The character arc and growth over the winter break. I gotta go with Cecilio. He has like a piece of my heart that I never expected him to take. I'm so sorry, Landon.
Wow, I thought you and I were going to be able to bully Landon into taking this whole thing. I guess I'm the only one voting Landon Cottom in this.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
I got you.
But Cecilia Dominguez wins. All right. Next round is Musa Jite versus Kippy Keller.
This is surprisingly difficult. I spent hours trying to find a picture of Kip Keller smiling on the internet.
Yeah, he's one of the curators. He does not smile in pictures.
No,
not. You have to catch a candid shot on field to even get a glimpse of a smile.
And also, like, Musa has a nice smile.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, up against no evidence. Or like, like Musa has a great smile. So that's my vote.
Yeah, in Musa our research.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, in our research, I found one picture that proved Kip Keller, like, smiles naturally.
And it was a profile picture, even.
Yeah.
So it was, like, hard to even see the whole thing.
Yeah.
But Musa, I think we'll get into this with a few other players, but it's like an innocent but mischievous smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get into this with some of like the younger guys, right? Like it's like you're mischievous, but you're young, so you don't know any better.
Yeah. So yeah,
and I still like you.
Yeah.
Okay, Musa advances. Next round, Ethan Finley versus Julio Cascante. And so Julio is the one that you guys criminally ranked way too low. But does like where does he stack up against Finley for y'all?
So for me, I had my initial rankings have Finley over Cascante. The way that I did my rankings was like I picked my top kind of my starting smile 11. And then I said, okay, is the next person on the team above or below number 11? And then like I would build going down like that, right? And so I didn't necessarily compare everyone. And so I think of the two, I think I might put Cascante over Finley in a direct one-on-one. But like my pure system vote had them flip-flopped. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Steph, what about you?
I'm with Finlay here.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I'm glad I'm glad Mike flipped because I get to be the tiebreaker here. Cascante's going through, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you going to say I'm from Minnesota and that's why I have Finlay on top?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say you like it looks like you two grew up in the same cold weather state. I don't know if that's true.
I don't look like I grew up in the cold weather state.
No. I'm just saying I could picture the two of you going to the Eden Prairie Mall to like I don't know, eat hot dish or something.
Oh my god.
Speaking of, I would put Ethan Finley in a Matt Beasler Applebee's 10 category.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think Ethan Finley, Matt Beasler, and Josh Wolf go into an Applebee's and the entire building combusts. Like I think that's too much for an Applebee's, you know?
I was saying that Ethan Finlay looks like a middle school gym teacher. Like that's the vibe I get from him.
He's from Duluth. I was right.
Shut
Let's
up.
go.
Gonna go out to Grandma's later, which is a restaurant in Duluth. It's got skee ball.
I bet Ethan Finley's good at skee ball.
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Okay, Julio advances. Next round is Jared Stroud versus Jean Kolmanich.
Yo,
I think this one is an interesting study. So and we can really break down like our criteria here with this matchup.
I have some big apologies to make because in the first Swoon Tower episode, I was like, I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand why people think so highly of Jared Stroud. And then looking up his smile, Landon, I had him in my starting smile 11.
Wow.
I don't know. Like, when you focus only on the smile, man, Jared Stroud has got it. He is that thing that a smile has to be my top 11. Jared Stroud's got it.
That one. So when I was filling out mine, this one made me laugh because I was like, oh yeah, Mike was
does not rate
talking about he thought Jared Stroud was like mediocre looking, and I saw your number. And then I looked over and saw Steph's number, which was significantly lower.
Yeah. Steph has Jared Stroud coming off the bench in her smile, for sure. But
so yeah, Jared Stroud does have it's like a big toothy smile, which is nice in some circumstances.
Yeah.
Where do you stand in this matchup, Steph?
Oh, great question.
Jean's another one of those that just doesn't smile much. He's like a very handsome guy, but just like doesn't smile in pictures ever.
Yeah, that's what, as I'm like doing, I'm doing exactly what Mike just said he did. Like putting them in one-on-one matchups is way easier for me. Having 25 to start with, I was like, this is so overwhelming. I've never looked at this many people on the internet in my life. I think I have to give it to Jared Stroud as well. Like I think I do, just based on a head-to-head matchup. Yep.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's another case of a bit of a lack of evidence.
Yeah.
But I think this one is interesting because I would consider John Kolmanich a more handsome man than Jared Stroud.
Agreed.
But would consider Jared Stroud's smile nicer.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like Jean Kolmanich could start a dark wave band tomorrow and be a teen heartthrob, guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like he could be out on tour and just like writing the saddest beeps and boop songs, and like everybody would be losing it for him.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't cut it in the smile bracket.
That's not the competition we're doing here, is it?
That's right.
All right, Jared Stroud advances. Next matchup is an interesting one. We have Coach Josh Wolf versus Freddie Kleeman.
Landon, where are you on this one?
I'm gonna go Wolf on this one.
I'm gonna go Wolf on this one too.
You gotta trust the process. # Wolf in on the smile bracket.
All right, Josh Wolf advances. Josh Wolf will face another one of our bye round, Brad Stuver, in the second round. We'll come back to that one. Next matchup is to see who goes against Johan Valencia in the next round. So this is a tough branch of the bracket here, and this is Will Pulisic versus Diego Fagundes.
Diego.
Wow.
It's got I'm Diego here.
Sorry, I was answering that for all of us.
Yes.
I felt confident in my total response.
Yeah, Will is, I think by virtue of being the fourth keeper for a long time, very difficult to find pictures of also, right?
And he's got a cute little smirk in a few. I just love Diego so much, and I love his smile. That's it.
In the same way that Ethan Finley looks like he's from Duluth, I think Will Pulisic looks like he's from like interior Pennsylvania.
Yeah, for sure.
And not in a bad way. He's a good-looking guy, but he has that look to him.
Like a regional,
just like his cousin look. Christian does.
Right.
Oh, are they cousins?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I mean, I just assumed that they were brothers. I don't know. I don't know.
Will is Christian's older cousin.
Oh,
which is kind of weird because, like, I guess that's what happens when you finish college instead of becoming a world-class player,
an international superstar. Yeah,
got it.
And so, like, we've known about Christian for longer, but Will is like 2 years older than him or something.
Yeah, that was the thing, is that when I was Googling Will, I just found a lot of pictures of Christian. And I was like, that is an unfair.
Yeah, honestly, it's an unfair Google result.
Yeah. But yes, Diego, I think, for this one.
All right, Diego advances. Next matchup, Danny Husin versus Maximiliano Urruti.
Talk about two completely different styles of dude, right? Like we talked about it earlier, Maxi's eating Doritos. I feel like if I go to Danny Husin's house, I am offered like water and like celery or something, like just like clear foods that will not stain his like all white perfect house. You know what I mean?
I was gonna go like classy European for Danny. Like he would offer you sparkling water.
Oh,
and,
sure.
What's a classy snack? I don't even know what classy
finger
snacks are.
Sandwiches.
Oh yeah, like a cucumber sandwich.
Yeah.
What do they eat in the Netherlands?
Honestly, probably like, I don't know, cucumbers.
I've never
I've never been
to the Netherlands.
All I can think about is cucumbers.
Bicycles.
They eat bicycles. Yeah, you know, classy snack, a little bike treat.
He has stroopwafel like on hand. He doesn't eat them, but he has them for guests.
Yeah, he's got like a little basket of stroopwafels at his front reception table. Jokes aside, he's my winner in this matchup. I know Mike's going to disagree with me, but Danny Houston is. Yeah, he's got a really, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like really easy. It's like, you know, he's happy, even if he's not like full on smiling.
Yeah, he does. Like, again, there's not a lot of pictures of him smiling either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't do it a lot.
There's one where he's making a silly face and mostly smiling. That's the one I went off of, and I liked it a lot.
I think I would pick Uruti here. And again, this is another one of those where I would rank Danny a more handsome man, but would rank Maxi's smile higher. So I guess, Mike, you're the tiebreaker in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you, Landon. I think Maxi's smile is he's got so much personality in it.
And it's a little bit of a bad boy smile, too.
And it comes out freely. Yeah. Like, he's got a smile. Like, he looks like he should be shrugging when he smiles. Like, yeah, you know. Like, that's the kind of vibe I get from him. Is like he's going to he's gonna poop house a penalty, like a for sure yellow card, and he's gonna look at the ref and he's gonna be like, eh. He's gonna get away with it at least once. Like,
yeah. Okay, Maxi advances here. Next matchup is Andrew Tarbell versus Ruben Gabrielson. This is going to be a tough one based on our original seeding. It seems like.
Yeah.
I know where Steph lies.
Yes. As like the strong outlier. I had Ruben Gabrielson as my number 2, like all around. So obviously that's where my vote is going. But what I did learn is how handsome Andrew Tarbell is. Because I had never looked at his face before this search. And I was like, dang, we've had this daddy on our team for a whole year.
Yeah. I just want to remind Steph that the trapezius muscle is not part of a smile. And does that change?
No. Okay, I was like, okay. I had a little filter. I had a little square cutout of a piece of paper, and I held it up to my screen just to look at their smile in isolation. I didn't do that, but now that I say it, it would have been a good idea.
Oh, that's really good.
So I was talking... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No. After you.
I was talking to Katie Ensign yesterday of Los Verdes leadership, and she had a take on the smile bracket that, like, it shouldn't just be about their mouth. Like, people smile with their whole face. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's, like, various ways you can look at this. But if we're doing, like, a whole face smile and, like, not necessarily, like, aesthetics, but like the feeling that it gives you, then I gotta pick Ruben in this one.
Okay.
They were both in my top 6, by the way. Like both Andrew Tarbell and Ruben Gabrielson. So this matchup was tough for me specifically.
It's like I think Andrew can like you're gonna take a picture of him, he turns on that smile and it's just there. Yeah. But I feel like Ruben like transmits something with it.
Yeah, he's got a beaming aura. That said, my pick is still our salt and pepper daddy, Andrew Tarbell.
Oh man, am I the tiebreaker then?
You already picked?
Yeah,
Gabrielson.
Yeah,
didn't
you picked Gabrielson.
But okay, Are
you nervous now?
Now the pressure is on.
But I'm gonna go with Ruben. So Ruben advances.
You're going to follow your heart on this one, Landon?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Okay, next matchup. John Gallagher versus Damian Loss. I feel like this one's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gallagher, right?
Oh, yeah. With Damian, he's got another smirk. I don't like it as much as I like Nick Lima's smirk, but he does have a kind of like troublemaker vibe to his smile.
And again, a good looking dude.
Yeah.
But based on just like smile and vibes emitted from it, Gallagher's like up there, right?
Yeah, and I
He's
want to
just,
like I had them way flipped in my first bracket, and I'm like pulling up. I'm gonna give a thumbs up to Damian Loss here, just for his like not smiling smile face, like when he's like looking up at the camera, clearly on the pitch, and cameras in the stands. Like there's a really attractive thing about like this one picture that I'm looking at, that very clearly swayed my first look at this. But I think overall, yeah, John Gallagher.
All right. John Gallagher advances. Next up, Hector Jimenez versus not Jeremiah Bentley, but Felipe Martins.
Sorry, Jeremiah.
Oh, man, I'm gonna have to do some studying here since we didn't have him
Yeah.
in before.
Yeah, if I can find a picture of Felipe Martins smiling,
Man, there's a lot on his Instagram. These
true.
are very
Oh my
different
God.
smiles here.
The Felipe Martins.
It's good, right?
Oh my God. I just Googled Felipe Martins smile, and that is yeah. That's a yes for me.
He's like very dad handsome. This one is. But I feel like Hector's kind of that way too, right? They're both in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by their face that they've lived a life. They've been outside for a long time, but still are like rocking that look.
Yeah.
When you said dad, it just made me think like, because they're both so aggressively angry in their official shots. It made me think of like Shakespeare dads who are all just awful most of the time. But then you have these like little, like tiny little scenes, these tiny little nuggets in the plays where they always have this shining moment of like really caring about their children and being like a little silly and a little goofy. But then the rest of the play, they're like really mad dad.
Which is like looking at pictures of Felipe. That's basically what we're getting,
That's
right?
what
Like,
I'm saying. Yeah.
every once in a while, he'll crack this smile, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hector was one of my dark horses here, and so I'm like a little bit sad to have to knock him out in the first round, but I think it's the right call.
When he's up against Felipe, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, Felipe advances. Next round, Danny Pereira versus Rodney Redes.
Honestly, I had a hard time not putting Danny in my top four. Like I had him above Johan Valencia for a long time, and had to like flip flop between the two of them. So like it's Danny.
I'm going Danny too, and again, talking about Gite's like mischievous innocence. I think Danny's got that same factor in his. And it's like, yeah, like if we're going like the most like perfectly shaped, like teeth entire, like every tooth in the right place, like perfectly, like it's not that kind of smile like we're gonna see in maybe some of these buy round players,
Right.
but it's like it like transmits something. He does it with his whole face. It's a very like the whole thing is like very effective.
Yeah.
It's very like you look at Danny Pereira's smile and you say that is trouble. And like
Yeah, that
college
Taylor Swift
staff
song
would have died.
Taylor Swift song starts playing in the back of your head, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, all right."
Yeah. So it's Danny for me as well.
All right, Danny advances.
Sorry, Rodney.
We are now in the second round.
Woo!
So, and we should probably try to move a little faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Well, yeah, we've talked about each of the boys now, and so now I think we can kind of just punch through them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and these some of these should be like easy
Pretty
ones
simple.
since these were like our top seeds, right?
Yeah.
So first one in the second round, Johan Romagna versus Alex Ring.
Yeah,
I got to go original Johan.
same.
Yeah. Yep.
OJ.
Easy.
Original Johan. Alex Ring. So I will say this about Alex Ring. I think his smile is extremely effective because he looks so mean most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you do see him smile, you're like, oh, that's really nice. Diego Chara of the Portland Timbers, I think, is in this same category where he's like a killer on the field and has like a grimace on his face most of the time. And then you see him smile and like, oh, that's like, he looks very friendly and like, he's like actually a really good looking guy. But on the field, it's just like, you think he's going to kill somebody. And so you don't think of him as being like nice to look at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's no shame in this one, Alex.
No,
you can
God, no.
hold your head high.
For sure. This is a tough matchup for anybody.
Okay, so Johan's competitor in the next round will come from either Cecilio Dominguez or Musa Jite.
Sassy goal.
Yeah.
We gotta go Cecilio, right?
Yep.
Again,
That
no
overall
shame, Musa.
effect, like when Cecilio smiles, it's his whole.
It's
Plus-
a very charismatic smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, if
He's
anybody's
like-
going to beat Landon, I want him to go all the way, you know?
Yeah, it'll make me look better by comparison.
That's right.
Okay, Cecilio goes on to the next round. Next one is Julio Cascante and Jared Stroud.
This is
Oof.
hard.
Going with my boy Jared.
I gotta go with my boy Julio.
Oh no.
Oh, Steph,
no.
You're the tiebreaker.
Oh no. Oh geez. Oh no. I'm gonna go with Julio.
Wow.
All right.
It was a
Let's
gut
go,
decision.
Julio. That's all we got, Steph. That's all
That's
we
right.
got.
That's true.
That's the greatest part about this is there's no stats involved. There's no like right or wrong. Well, the listeners will argue whether.
Oh,
There's a right or wrong, yeah.
okay. Facing Julio Cascante will be either Josh Wolf or Bradley Stuver.
Easy, Brad.
Stu.
Yeah.
All right. Stuver advances. Next one, we've got Johan Valencia versus Diego Fagundes.
So someone on the Los Verdes Slack mentioned that we should have a different bracket for folks who have had dental work done to enhance their smiles. I don't know. I think
There's something else I saw in Slack that I think is worth mentioning here. Actually, never mind. I'm going to save it for the next round.
Okay. I'm gonna jump right in. I'm gonna go with Diego. I know that it's
man.
controversial, but like, I don't know. When we're talking about energy, and part of that is like comfort as well. Like I know Diego. I don't, you know what I mean. You all know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Johan. So Landon, you're gonna be the tiebreaker here.
I got to go Johan. This is purely smile based decision here.
Yep.
Again, Diego, the odds were stacked against you, buddy, but you did good.
Yeah.
Okay, facing Johan Valencia in the next round will be either Maxi Urruti or Ruben Gabrielson.
Ruben Gabrielson.
Mike,
Who do you got, Landon?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Ruben as well.
All right. Then it
So
doesn't
maybe
matter.
your choice doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But your
Which
choice
is great.
in there anyway.
All
Make
right.
it for the record.
Yeah.
Let's see. For the record, I would have chosen Gabrielson as well.
Ooh.
All right, unanimous decision.
Yep.
Okay, next round is John Gallagher versus Felipe Martins. This one's tough.
I gotta go with Gally, especially when he's got a beard. There's just something about the way his smile fills out his beard. Also, I am forever going to think of his smile after scoring the first goal at home, and so I can't separate that in my heart. So, yeah.
Steph?
John Gallagher. Oh, Felipe Martins. I was reading
Felipe?
the list and I just read it out loud but Felipe 100%.
I'm gonna have to go Gallagher here. Sorry, Felipe. You were a late addition, but you performed well while you were here. All right. Next one is Danny Pereira, Sebastian Driussi.
If the seating were different, Danny, I'd have you in the finals, but
Yeah, Danny deserves to be in the next round, but it just the chips didn't fall that way, did they?
no. Stupid
Yeah,
random
all right.
seating.
Driussi advances. Okay, back to the top for our third
now
round.
it's getting
This
tough.
is the
I don't know.
quarterfinal round. All right,
It's getting really hard.
First matchup, Johan Romagna versus Cecilio Dominguez.
Romagna.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still got to be Romagna. Sorry, buddy.
We're all gonna fight in the last round, and it's gonna get ugly. But
Yeah.
for right now, let's remain friends.
Yeah. Okay. Julio versus Brad.
Stu.
Yeah, I'll go with y'all too. Stuver. On to the next one. Valencia Gabrielson.
I think I'm the odd man out here, but I would vote for Gabrielson.
Perfect. I'm going Valencia.
Yeah, I'm Valencia as well. So Valencia
It's fine. It's fine.
advances.
You've got a whole season to prove us wrong, so it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Gallagher, Driussi.
Driussi.
Yeah.
Again,
This-
not fair.
It's not fair.
No, this is
Sorry.
as long as the first goal theatrics weighs out for me here. It's got to be
All right.
Seba.
Driussi advances.
Yeah.
Okay, we are now in the semi-final round. First up, Johan Romagna versus Bradley Stuver.
So I love Brad Stuver's teeth. I'm sorry to cuss. I'm going Stuver.
What?
Yeah, I love it. I think the little fang is so cool and so fun and so.
There's a photo that someone put in Slack that is just unfair to literally everyone else except Driussi, so Romagna for me.
Yeah, I gotta go Romagna.
That's fine.
He's the one seed for a reason. No
He's the
upset.
king,
No,
I get
no-
it.
No Cinderellas in this bracket. All right. This is a big matchup here.
Yeah.
So this is Johan Valencia versus Sebastian Driussi, and this is where I wanted to bring up something else I saw in Los Verdes Slack, and this was from Andrew Urban. He overheard this in the stands at the Atlas match, and he heard someone in the stands say that Johan Valencia has a smile that makes you want to buy something from him, and Sebastian Driussi has a smile that makes you want to have sex with him.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true, and that's why my vote goes to Sebastian Driussi because I'm poor and
Same.
I'm not buying anything besides this smile. I don't know. I had done my like top 10 or whatever, and then I was like, now I'm actually gonna go through and like look at pictures and like differentiate. And there's one photo of Driussi that I literally like lives rent free in my mind. Sorry, Mike.
No apology necessary. I literally have it pulled up right now.
Yeah, that's that one. It is that one, and so it's Driussi
wait.
for me.
Is it in his Instagram? Where can I find this photo?
Austin American Statesman published this photo.
It's a press conference photo. The way that like the corners of his mouth like extend up through his smile, like, I don't know. It's gonna be weird if I keep talking about it.
There's just
I found it. Is it a press conference?
Yeah.
it sure is. He's got
Okay.
the dango going on. He's
Yeah.
It's unfair.
the twinkle in his eyes that he knows
Yes.
he's answering a question with like a a good answer. Like he just that confident smile, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Driussi here as well. I thought that was the overheard at Q2 was like a brilliant way to
To
stage
describe
the
the
matchup
two.
though.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, for
but yeah,
sure.
I got to go Driussi as well.
Yeah,
So
I think
we
depending
have
on
our-
how pure your intentions are, right, determines who wins in this bracket. It's like,
All right, we're on to the final. This is for the whole sack of potatoes, or however the saying goes. We've got Johan Romagna versus Sebastian Driussi. How are y'all feeling? Do you have a clear answer here?
It's clear.
Mike, do you have a clear answer?
clear
I
for
don't.
me.
I know who I'm voting for already.
This one to me is the hardest comparative on the team. I try never to have to pit them against each other. But here we are.
You're going to be the tiebreaker, Mike, because
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I know for me it's Driussi. I'm pretty sure, Landon.
No,
It's Romagna for you. Yeah.
you're right. It is
Yeah.
Romagna for me.
Oh
But
no!
I mean, Driussi was my 100% number one.
Can we have a draw?
No,
No, you're it, Mike.
All
You're
right.
it's
it.
all on you.
There is only one player on the two of these that I have yelled enhance at my computer screen for.
And it wasn't about his smile.
This is a smile bracket.
You're right.
Michael.
You're right. Okay. Man, I'm looking at the picture that Steph talks about for Johan, and I'm looking at the picture that Steph talks about for Driussi.
Wait, which one is the Johan picture?
It's in Slack.
It's him
from
with a
last night.
hoodie. Yeah, it's him with a hoodie on.
It's like a recent one.
It's a
Yes.
recent one. I tagged you in a response
Okay.
to it so that you'd see it before today.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I mean, like when we put the poll out, I feel like we should include these two photos that
Agreed.
we have talked so much about on the show, so that everyone knows why I've chosen Driussi.
Boo!
Woo! Oh my god, I'm so happy.
It's like the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Here I am sweating. I can't
Wow.
imagine picking a starting lineup, let alone best smile on the team. So that was hard.
Hard fought battle there, Johan. You deserved better, but that's you can't win them all. So Sebastian Driussi is our smile bracket champion. Congratulations, you are
Going into the Swoon
valiant
Tower.
warrior.
The Swoon Tower Hall of Fame.
How do we feel about this? Do you think did it shake out? I feel like it shook out like to pretty like good competition
Yeah.
throughout. We didn't have to drop too many people like way too early. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple of them a round
there
or
were
two
some-
early.
Some bummer first round losses, and some tough second rounds, but I feel like it was pretty straightforward for the most part.
Yeah, once we hit the semis, it felt right. You know, I think Danny
Yeah.
Pereira deserved to go a further round. I think Hector Jimenez deserved to go a further round.
I think
Yeah,
Diego
tough first round draw there.
Yeah.
Um,
You think
but-
Ruben deserved a spot in the final? I get it.
No, I think this is pretty perfect. I'm sorry, Landon. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see what everybody else has to say about it. You know, like there's my favorite thing about the Austin FC fandom is that like there are so many opinions about how handsome our boys are. You know, like it's surprising to me, who's always been kind of more of a like tactics and like mental kind of like fan before getting into soccer, how much room there is to appreciate this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
And I think we're doing the Lord's work in advancing soccer as a sport in this country because like you get this kind of stuff in other in other sports, right? Like
Sure.
the media landscape is big enough that you have people talking about like just goofy stuff about the NFL and the NBA. And so we're taking on this burden to advance soccer in the American sports landscape.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to be quite as much a martyr about it, but you're right. Everyone is very lucky that we're willing to die on these hills.
You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, look out for those Twitter polls coming probably early next week. Anything else y'all want to cover before we wrap up, guys?
No, I'm really excited. I feel like, honestly, and this is going to sound really silly, but doing all of the Swoon Tower research, I'll loosely call it, has made me so much more excited for the season, because when I was watching everyone play the other night with Atlas, it was so I feel like I knew more about their personalities based on the way they interact online and the way that they present themselves in their social media presence. And I just felt like I was watching people that I was familiar with rather than watching athletes. And it made me enjoy it 1,000 times more, which was already a very high enjoyment value, but I was really excited about it.
Yeah, I love how open and accessible the players feel with their social media, and being able to like take part in that and embrace that is so fun.
Also, everyone go follow Danny Pereira on TikTok.
Oh my God. And like, make sure, like, can you set up alerts on TikTok? If you can set up alerts, you should, because like he deletes them super fast when
really?
Yeah, because they're all so stupid.
They're all so dumb. And then John Gallagher will be like, "What are you doing?" And then he'll like embarrass delete it. It's incredible. So make sure, to do that. That's really
pro tip from Mike there. I didn't know about that.
Yep.
That's my biggest piece of advice for the 2022 Austin FC season.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to listen to our shenanigans. We'll be back an undetermined date in the future with another episode of Swoon Tower Soccer. In the meantime, go to the Moon Tower Twitter page to vote on your favorite smiles in the team. We can't wait to see all that. But until then, I'm Landon Cottom.
I'm Mike Ellison.
I'm Stephanie Crignola.
We'll see you next time.
Muchas gracias. Bye bye.